and let's share the screen. So today we're going to be talking about tax-free retirement strategies, right? I think if most of you are not familiar are not thinking about taxes, that's one of the sure ways that can eat up your money. So before I get started or dive into today's topic, I want to introduce myself. I'm always like starting off without saying who I am, and lots of people are going to be watching this long after we hang up. So my name is Odetta King. I am a marketing director with World Financial Group. We are a financial platform that helps people with total personal finance from birth to burial, okay? From birth to burial. And we can help anyone in the entire 50 states. We also have over 400 offices in the US and Canada. And today we're going to be talking about tax-free retirement, okay? It is so important to understand taxes, because depending on where your money is sitting, you could be paying a lot more in taxes, which means you're going to keep a lot less for yourself. So who is this webinar for? It is for anyone who at some point, God willing, we live to retirement age, which everyone should be saving, whether we're gonna live or not. So if you have a 401k, if you have a 403b, if you have a 457, if you have an IRA, if you're saving money in the bank, anything that you're doing when it comes to saving money or putting money away, right? Anything that you can do to put money to save for your future, especially if it deals with retirement, you want to learn this information. So earlier we had a gentleman who was actually a finance software developer, and him and I was chatting, and actually he came on about 4:55, and he said, you know, we have a lot of stuff, but I know my money is sitting in the wrong vehicles. We have a lot of money, we have a lot of different investment accounts, but I already know from the little that I've been learning that we are going to be paying more in taxes. And I said, you know, it's ironic that you even thought about it already, because most people are not even thinking about that. So even the folks who have a lot of money, right, they're also going to look for ways to make sure that they're keeping most of that money in their pocket and not giving it to Uncle Sam, who is our uncle that we've never met. So I want to talk about 3 rules of money. And when you understand these 3 rules of money, the second bullet point is going to really dive into taxes, right? So the first rule of money is understanding how your money is growing, how your money is compounding. We have to put our money in accounts that's going to give us a high interest. Now, the number one place that most of us put our money is in the bank. So if we're doing that, we're already set up to fail, right? So we got to put our money in accounts that's going to give us more than inflation, which is about 3%. So right now, I want you guys to start thinking, if you have your money anywhere earning less than 3%, you are dropping your coins, okay? So let me make sure that I also, because I have to do this at every call, every webinar, if you have not gotten a copy of my book, please make sure you do. Grab a copy, read it, and at the end of every chapter, there are lines for you to take action, because this information is great, but if you don't apply, it's not gonna help you. So if you in stacking, you are dropping, and we are not about dropping coins. We want to stack coins, okay? So make sure you go to my website, odettaking.com, and grab a copy of my book. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you are positioning your money in accounts that is going to give you a high interest. So wherever you have your money right now, please make sure it is earning you more than inflation, which is 3.5%, right? So that's the first rule. Put your money where you can get the most interest. Put your money where you can get the most interest, right? The second rule to money is understanding taxes. And this is what the bulk of this webinar or live is about, understanding taxes and putting your money or repositioning your money and putting it in accounts that you're going to pay the least amount of taxes or none at all. So there's 3 places you can put your money when it comes to taxes. The first one is the Tax Now accounts. So these are your checking, your savings, your CD, stocks, mutual fund. With those type of accounts, hi Jason, with those type of accounts, you're literally like paying tax every year. You make money, you pay tax. You make money, you pay tax. God damn it, your money's not even getting a chance to breathe. You make money, they tax you at the end of every year. So those are your Tax Now account. Then you have Tax Later, which is where a lot of people who have jobs, right? Or they might be self-employed. They have their money in these type of accounts. And they're going to retire poor or retire with paying a lot of money in taxes because they do not know this information. So if you have a 401k, 403b, IRA, SEP IRA, annuity and pension, when you put your money in those type of accounts, you were paying or you will be paying the most amount of taxes later. How much? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen to the future. Nobody knows how much tax we're going to pay. But yet still, because of lack of financial education, we are putting all our money in these accounts, hoping for the best. Well, we study this. We study this market. We are financial professionals. We make this our business to learn this information. And based on what we're seeing, taxes has to go up. And if taxes has to go up and taxes will go up, that means we're going to be paying more taxes on our money. So that's the equivalent of you guys coming to me. And for those of you who don't know my story, I actually had saved up $100,000 many years ago. I had the money sitting in my bank, earning less than 2%. I thought I was doing great because I was getting more than what most people were getting, right? So that's the equivalent of you guys coming to me and saying, hey, Odetta, I want to borrow that $100,000. And I said, here, I'm going to lend it to you, but I'm not going to tell you how much interest I'm going to charge you until you're ready to pay me back. Who will take that deal? Which one of you will take money from someone if you do not know how much interest you're going to pay? And in this case, how much taxes you're going to pay? This is exactly what we're doing with these type of accounts. We're putting our money in these accounts, 401k, 403b, IRA, SEP IRA, annuity and pension, and we are going to pay the most in taxes. Taxes has to go up because the country's in a national deficit, right? So where else can I put my money then to minimize my taxes? Because like I said, you could have a lot of money, but if your lot of money is sitting in a tax later account, that means you'll be paying a lot of taxes, right? And we're all about tax-free retirement, right? Tax-free retirement, another great book that you guys can read. It's called, let me see if I have it here. This is an awesome book. Patrick Kelly, great author. The Retirement Miracle by Patrick Kelly. He has a series. Tax-free retirement is the other one is called. Let's see if I have it here. Yes, Patrick Kelly. These are not anything that we are making up, guys. This information has been out here. We just don't know about it, and our job is to educate families. So a great book that you guys can all read to learn more about this strategy is by Patrick Kelly, Tax-Free Retirement. Okay, Tax-Free Retirement. So where can we put our money? We want to reposition and put our money in tax advantage. And what is tax advantage? Tax-free. Right? That's the secret spot. That's the 1% strategy that nobody is talking about or people aren't really aware of. So what are some tax-free or tax advantage accounts? That's your Roth IRA, 529 college saving, executive bonus, long-term care, and cash value life insurance. Now these are tax-free. However, all of them have pros and cons. Depending on where you're putting your money, all of them have pros and cons. So when we sit with you and do a complimentary financial analysis, we're going to further break down what you have and show you the pros and cons and why it needs to be upgraded or better, right? So you may say, but Odetta, I have a Roth. And I'm going to say, that's great, right? Or you may say, Odetta, I have a 529. And I may say, that's great. But like all of them are going to have but, because they all have pros and cons, right? So we want to reposition our money and put it in tax advantage, tax-free vehicles. And then the third option is investment. This is the third money rule, investment. With investment, now you have 3 types of buckets. You can put your money in the bank, which is typically fixed products. They're going to give you a fixed interest. The interest is fixed, 2%, 1%, 0.75, whatever, right? So when you do that, right, your money is safe, but it's not growing much. In fact, guys, you are losing money. Money sitting in the bank is losing. How? You're losing to inflation, cost of living, right? And I realized this years ago when I had my 100,000 sitting in the bank, and I started doing the math at the end of every year, adding the interest, and I multiplied the interest by 20 years. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's all I'm gonna have? What am I gonna buy with $10,000? What am I gonna buy with $20,000 in 20 years, right? So when you have your money in fixed product, it is actually, for lack of a better word, stunting your money from growing. Because everything else around you is going up, but your money is not going up. It is safe. It is safely losing to inflation. The second place that you can invest your money in is variable accounts. And if you Google the word variable, variable means unreliable, unstable, unpredictable. So what are some variable accounts? That's your 401k. That's your 403b. That's your 457. That's your IRA. That's your annuity. You know, those are accounts that are, it's going to go up with the market, down with the market, up with the market, down with the market. And the number one rule to invest in is never, ever lose money. So why are people putting their money in these accounts? Lack of financial education. That's it. Lack of financial education. Because when you know better, you do better. The third type of investment is something called index. Now, these are insurance companies. Insurance companies have been studying the market, and in 2008, when the stock market crashed and tons of people lost millions of dollars, they literally watched their retirement dwindle before their eyes in a matter of weeks. It was havoc. So insurance company decided, you know what? We're going to create a product that allows people to save and allows people to invest and also give them a guarantee that they will never, ever, ever lose money when the stock market go down. Only insurance company can offer this guarantee. And that's your index, right? It's your index account. So if you want to know, Odetta, where do I need to put my money to get tax-free retirement? Where do I need to put my money so that it grows and I don't lose any? You want to put your money where it's going to grow and where you're not going to lose any. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't like losing. And I don't want to be rich today and poor tomorrow. But that's what variable accounts gives you. You're rich today and you could be poor tomorrow. You go to bed tonight with $1 million. You wake up tomorrow, the stock market crash, you're a pauper. That's what variable is. And I need you guys to grasp that concept. You could be rich today and poor tomorrow because you have no guarantee safety. A lot of money today. Hey, stock's doing good. I'm up. Tomorrow you wake up, you down. We don't want that roller coaster. We want to make sure, and as my book said, stacking our coins. We got to be stacking our coins. We got to be stacking our coins. The whole idea is to make money. Even when you're sleeping, you got to be making money, right? You got to be making money even when you're sleeping. Your money got to go to work for you. So if you have it in a fix is okay. It's safe, but it's not growing much. In fact, you're safely losing money to inflation. If you have it in a variable, yes, you could be rich, but then you could also be poor. And we've seen this happen in 2008, and we're seeing it right now in 2020 happening again with COVID and being in a recession. Because every day we have 10,000 baby boomers retiring. So all the people that were on track to retire this year, they've already lost money. On top of it, they're gonna have to pay taxes, right? So what are index accounts? It's pretty much a global perspective of all the segments. You have the index, S&P 500. These are the top largest 500 companies of the US. You have Euro Stocks, which is the top 50 companies in Europe. And then you have Hang Seng, which is the top 50 companies in Asia. So your money is mirroring a global market, and all of these are top companies. Now, yes, top companies can go under. Top companies could have not so good years, but the best thing with this product or this tax-free strategy is that number one, you're minimizing your taxes, and number two, you are never losing money. So I don't care if Coca-Cola go under. I don't care if Costco goes out of business. I don't care if Netflix, McDonald's, AT&T, Google, Southwest, Amazon, United Airlines. I don't care. I do not care if any of those companies go belly up, because this strategy allows us to never ever lose money. That's powerful stuff, right? And that's how you want to set up your retirement. You don't want to set up your retirement wondering, oh my God, I wonder when I'm ready to retire year 2040 or year 2050, what the market is going to do. You don't want to be thinking, oh my God, in 5 years when I'm ready to retire, I hope my money is sitting there waiting for me, or I hope we don't have a jerk president who's going to increase taxes. None of that I have to worry about. None of it. Right? And this is what we want to share with you guys to help you guys manage and create a solid tax-free retirement to help you grow, and that money is sitting waiting there for you. Now I want to bring up I want to show you guys some comparisons. So I'm going to show you, and for those of you that are on Facebook, I put the link. So if you guys want to hop over to see my screen, right, you're more than welcome to hop over on the Zoom. This way you can see my screen. That's why I put the link for the Zoom on Facebook. So let's talk about a comparison between your typical, which most people are familiar, or they have a 401k, right? Most people have a 401k, or they may have a 403b. So I'm going to share some comparison between the tax-free retirement strategy and your typical 401k, 403b, IRA, or any one of those which most people are familiar and have, right? So let's say you're saving, I don't know, $300 a month, right? You put that $300 in your 401k versus putting that same $300 in another type of account, a tax-free strategy account. The 401k is pre-tax dollars. I get it. But Uncle Simon's going to get you on the back end, and he's going to get you real good paying a lot of taxes. With this tax-free strategy is after-tax dollars. So you already paid the tax today, so your money is growing tax-free, right? I'm not going to give all the bullet points. Stock market risk. Your money in the 401k is 100% vulnerable and open to stock market risk. Whatever the market does, it's going to affect your money. Up or down, it's going to affect your money. With a tax-free strategy, who cares? Who cares if the stock market blow up? Who cares if the stock market go under? Who cares? Whatever, right? We don't care because we have a guarantee of zero loss. So I could sleep wonderful every night. I can sleep wonderful every night and know that when I'm ready to retire, I'm gonna have millions of dollars tax-free waiting on me, rather than having millions of dollars in an account where I'm gonna have to worry about taxes and I'm gonna have to worry about the market risk. This is why this webinar is about teaching you guys how to create a tax-free retirement account, which ultimately will mean your retirement is going to be stress-free. Okay, tax-free and stress-free. If you guys want to know how to have a tax-free and stress-free retirement with a whole lot of coins, make sure you guys get in touch with me, right? By calling 973-842-7927. Again, the number is 973-842-7927. I'm just going to point out 2 more points from my presentation. So let's talk about the RMD, required minimum distribution. When your money's in a 401k, you have to start taking money out at age 72. That might be a problem for some of us if we got a lot of coins in a lot of places, right? So you have to take the money out at age 72. Why? Because Uncle Sam is eagerly awaiting to tax you, and a lot of taxes too, right? And if you don't take the money out at age 72, guess what? That's a 50% whopping penalty fee that Uncle Sam is going to get you. Did you know that? You have to start taking the money out at 72. You just have to. And if you do not, 50% in penalty. Why? Because Uncle Sam wants to tax you. Now, in a tax-free retirement strategy, there's no minimum requirement distribution. You can leave the money there forever. You could die and leave the money there for your great grandkids. There's no minimum age requirement. None. Right? And the other best part is, most of you guys, if you have your 401k, your 403b, your IRA, you cannot touch the money until age 59 and a half. If you touch the money before age 59 and a half, you have to take it in the form of a loan. And sometimes you got to ask for your own money. I've had a client who works for a bank, and she had already touched her 401k. And she called me to ask me, what else can I do to touch my money? I said, well, you work at a bank, don't you know? She's like, no, I don't. I already touched the money. Unfortunately, what's even more irking is that this person wanted to break her 401k. She wanted to take money out of her 401k to invest in her liquor store. So she was taking that money to go flip it and make more money. But she had already exhausted her loan amount in her 401k. So she couldn't touch anymore. Guess what? In a tax-free retirement strategy, I don't have to ask for my own money. I just take it out. And it's tax-free, right? There's no penalty. There's no penalty for touching the money before age 59 and a half. And then the last but not least, I'm going to give you guys one last point. Long-term care. Nobody's even talking about long-term care, right? Long-term care is a big piece that is going to hit us like a ton of brick when we get older. Maybe now we're young, we're healthy, and everything is going great. But once you start getting in your 70s and your 80s and your 90s, 70% of us will require long-term care. Long-term care pays, God forbid, you get ill and cannot take care of yourself. If you need help with bathing, continence, dressing, eating, toileting, transferring, as long as 2 of those things happen to you, you start getting a check. And guys, don't tell me about the government. Don't tell me about Medicare. Don't tell me about Medicaid, because those things only pay up to the first 100 days. After the first 100 days, you are on your own. And if you were to get anything, you have to literally be a pauper to get anything free from the government. You have to have like a 0 net worth. On top of it, think about the level of care that you're gonna get. If you guys have never visited one of those homes, go take a look at it one day and see how they take care of those old people in those homes. Now, yes, I know there's some good nurses, there's some good doctors, but the environment alone will kill you. If you work so hard all your life, why in your later years you want to be suffering? Just because you didn't make the right decision with your finances? This is your opportunity today. When I hang up this call, set up a time to see what's going on with your own financial house. Set up a time to see how you can get one of these tax-free retirement strategy. Because I guarantee all of us, if we live to old age, 70% of us, statistics show, will require long-term care. And you do not want to go to a nursing home. You want to stay in your nice house, because statistics also show that people who go to a nursing home, they die sooner. They die quicker. You want to stay in your nice home, and you got your coins to pay you a nurse or a home health aide to take care of you. But if you don't have long-term care, where are you going to get the money from? Who is going to pay for these things? The government is only going to help you so much. First 100 days, and after that, you're on your own. And as you guys know, that's another thing that never decreases. Healthcare costs is only going to keep going up, right? It's only going to keep going up. So, in wrapping up, I'm going to bring up one last thing, and let me share my screen. So, these are the 4 things that everybody needs to have as part of their financial cornerstone. We need to put our money where it's going to grow. We need to put our money where it is safe. There's no compromise. It's not, oh, it's growing, but it's not safe, or oh, it's safe, but it's not growing. We're not compromising. We are financial educated. We are financial professionals. And if we do not know, we'll find out the information. And this is why I'm doing these webinars, to help you guys be aware of some of these strategies so you can better your life. You can better your future. And by default, you're also bettering the next generation coming after you, right? So the 4 cornerstone to any financial foundation is you gotta have growth. Your money has to grow. If your money is sitting in the bank, I'm sorry to tell you, it is not growing. It is safely losing. If your money is sitting in an IRA, a 401k, a 403b, a SEP IRA, annuity pension, yes, it can grow, but it is absolutely not safe. So you could save all you want, and come 65, 67, you could be like, oh my God, that's all I have, and still live on paycheck to paycheck in retirement. We're not gonna have that, right? And then the 3rd box is you gotta have tax-free. Holy moly, this is the sweet spot. Tax-free money is always more money. Think about it. If you go to the supermarket and they say no tax, gosh, you could buy more stuff. No tax means you got more money, right? So you want to have tax-free strategies. And the 4th point is protection. Guys, we're protecting everything. We're protecting our cell phones. We're protecting our cars. We're protecting our homes. We are protecting things when we should be protecting us, ourselves, yourself. Protect your life, protect your health, and yes, protect these coins. Because if you don't protect these coins, Uncle Sam is coming for you, right? He is totally coming for you. And so we're just a little under 6 o'clock. I try to stay between 30 to 45 minutes. So I'm going to end my live. Those of you who have questions on Facebook, those of you that are on Zoom, make sure you guys get in touch with me, right? The number again is 973-842-7927. 973-842-7927. Set up a time so that we can sit with you virtually, of course, because it's COVID, and we could do a one-on-one to create a dream map for you, show you what's working, what's not working, or what needs to be better, right? If you have kids, we did a webinar yesterday, showing you guys how your kids can be millionaires. If you missed that, it's on my Facebook. It's also on my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, type Odetta King, and you'll see the video I uploaded yesterday, literally showing you how you can make your kids millionaire, or maybe your grandkids. I'm working right now with a lady in Florida, and we put a strategy in place for her granddaughter. It's mind-boggling how her granddaughter is gonna be like, is already so much better than her, and she's only 11 years old, right? So if you have kids, check out that video. But more importantly, get in touch with me so I can help you, educate you, show you what's going on, create a dream plan to help you retire tax-free with more money. And if you have kids, how to make your kids millionaires. Maybe you didn't get to be a millionaire, but that's okay. You can help your kids be millionaire, okay? And if you're young enough, I would say under 40, and depending on how much you're making, you can still potentially be a millionaire. You just got to know this information. So get in touch with me to set up a one-on-one. Okay, guys? Thank you so very much, Jeffrey. I see you. So we're gonna do our one-on-one later on today. Just shoot me a text with the time. And thank you guys so much for joining.